Hi friends, Wawagan here. I want to share with you the extra 1% marginal gains that I've been able to get with the Ultrahuman Air ring. As an ultracyclist, the name of the ring is a little funny. It's called the Ultrahuman Air. It feels literally like air on my finger. I can't feel it when I'm riding. It's been a great addition to my armor this year of things to add on to that 1%. It's a smart tracker. It is a wearable. It tells me all kinds of things. But as a cyclist, I have been riding for 15 years and there are some things maybe I'm missing that some data could tell me, but it's also really hard to make gains when you've been riding for that long. It's something that you really need to look for. This ring, I've been able to find some things I can improve on. Also just overall well-being as a healthy individual. It's been helpful. Some insights that maybe I didn't realize before. Let's dive right into the Ultrahuman Air ring. I'm going to tell you about the pros, about some of the cons, and how it has integrated into my life as something I use daily. Before you order the ring, I would suggest trying out the ring sizing kit. It's just a box with a couple different sizes of rings for you to try. It's basically a black ring made out of plastic. Feels kind of funny, but what they say is you should wear it for a day or two and figure out which size works best for you. For me, this is kind of cool. I decided to go with the ring size 7, and the 7 for me is perfect because it allows me to wear it on actually 3 fingers. Typically I wear it on my middle finger, but I can also put it on my index finger. And if I really, really push past my fat ass knuckle, eventually I can get it on my thumb. So if I do need to switch it up for some reason, I can do that. And when I'm riding my bike, I really honestly don't notice that it's there on the middle finger. When I'm riding the drop bars, I would mostly feel it if it's on my index finger. And if I'm riding the flat bars, same thing. I can really feel the ring when it's on my index. But when it's on my middle finger, I don't even know that it's there. And it's gathering all this amazing data, but I don't really notice that it's there. A couple years ago, I tried out the Oura ring. I didn't like it. The main reason for me was, well, they started the subscription around the time that I purchased the ring. And that was kind of a bummer for me. I didn't like that there was a subscription. And then also they didn't have as many features. The Ultrahuman has come out and has plenty of features. It has cycle tracking, which is really helpful as a woman for so many things, but really for training. I'm able to work with my coach and we can sync up workouts based on my cycle where I can get more gains based on that. And that is super cool. The ring uses your temperature to monitor that and some other factors. I think it's a really interesting tool that now I'm utilizing with the ring. The other reasons I didn't really like the Oura is I could really feel there was a bump on the side and it really irritated me. This one is really all the way around. It is a circle. It does have a bump on the inside of the ring, but I do not feel that. With the Oura ring, I could feel the curved edge on it and that was kind of annoying. All in all, there aren't that many things about the Oura at the time when I was using it that really wanted me to keep it. I tried it for 30 days and I actually returned it. I just didn't think that it was for me the right thing. Now that I've gotten into cycling a little bit more in terms of racing and I'm looking for those marginal gains, having a fitness tracker is really helpful. I also had the Whoop at the very beginning when they first started, and again, it didn't have as many features. So I'm revisiting this whole fitness tracker wearable situation. I'm utilizing the Ultra Ring Air, and so far I've been happy. It has been really wonderful. It's a very stylish ring. I like having the gold. I'm a gold fan. I've got my gold necklaces. I've got my gold rings. I like gold. So I feel really stylish with it, and it doesn't feel like a fitness tracker. Granted, I do wear a watch, and it may not be the most stylish watch, but I wear the watch because I can also utilize heart rate directly from my Wahoo watch to my Wahoo computer. I've got 2 on my left hand tracking all kinds of data that I don't really usually look at that often. I'll leave that to my coach Dennis at the Orange Hill Academy, but I have utilized the data to check my sleep. So in the morning, I like to check and see, did I in fact sleep like I felt? Granted, the data itself is a lot and the app is really easy to use. It gives you cues on certain things. If you didn't sleep so well, it could probably tell you why. And a lot of times for me, my heart rate drops a little bit later than it should have. And oftentimes it's because I've laid in bed thinking about something. My mind is moving and grooving. So for me, now I know if I want to go to bed and be asleep by 9:30 p.m. or 10 p.m., I need to be in bed at least 45 minutes because I need time for my brain to just kind of slowly shut off. It's also helped me realize like maybe I should be doing meditation before I go to bed. Little things like that are really helpful. The cycle tracking has been amazing for me. And I think just overall wellness has been better. It does tell you to move. So that's a good reminder when I've been sitting at my desk all day. It'll give you some notifications and it tracks your temperature. So last week I got sick and it said that my temperature was different. It was like kind of had trended upwards and I got sick shortly after that. It's good at catching things like maybe before you might be able to. Obviously, it's important to listen to your own body. And as an athlete, I've gotten pretty good at that. But sometimes there's things I just don't pick up. I'm busy or the data is able to see something that I don't. And so the ring has been really helpful for me in many ways. Another feature of these fitness trackers is going to be the heart rate and the heart rate variability. And I'm not somebody that is going to go into all of the specifics about how HRV is calculated. But as an athlete, especially an athlete who's doing things where I'm like literally bringing my body into total destruction, essentially. I'm riding my bike for 800 miles in the desert of Morocco, and I'm utilizing this ring to tell me certain data. I go back and look at it. It's very interesting to read it after I've done an ultra race, but it's really helpful in terms of following the HRV and seeing like, okay, yes, in fact, I am totally destroyed. Maybe I should just take it a little bit easier today. A lot of times I will push through and I maybe shouldn't, not necessarily during a race, but during a hard week or maybe during a rest week. If I realize I'm still not fully recovered yet, it's a good indicator. And that data gets transferred. It's linked up with my training peaks. So my coach Dennis is able to see what the data says. That's all really helpful. Obviously, data can be overwhelming. And like I mentioned earlier, like I'm not the one that's sifting through the data. So thank you, Dennis, for doing that for me. We learned together utilizing this data, and it's been super cool to see. It took about 2 weeks from when I finished the 800-mile Atlas Mountain race in Morocco to where my HRV was prior to starting the race, when I was what I would say, quote unquote, in the ready state. Maybe I feel recovered, but again, the data just backs up that it took me 2 weeks to recover from such an event. So we know that for future training as well. Another pro is it doesn't have a subscription fee. It's nice to just be able to have and buy the ring and not have to worry about it. When you buy the ring, you can actually trade in another fitness tracker, which is cool. The ring itself is actually quite durable. It's got a couple nicks on it. I rode this in the desert for 800 miles with and without gloves, and it held up. I did bring the charger with me, and the charger is this small black flat device. It's not super heavy. You plug in a USB-C to it. It charges probably, I don't know, I think it takes about an hour to fully charge up. A lot of times I just leave it by my desk, and if I'm sitting there working, sometimes I'll just pop it on here. I would say another positive is that it's pretty accurate, but I've taken the data from this ring and I've actually looked at what my heart rate monitor says, when it's from my watch, when it's from the heart rate strap that I wear underneath my sports bra, and the data is pretty accurate. The HRV is actually, I would say, even more accurate than what my watch says. It is utilizing your finger, and they say that that's a really good way to gather that information. And I think the only thing about the finger data is that the temperature may not be 100% accurate based on like what it would be if you took your temperature, putting it under your tongue or taking it from your skin up on your forehead. But as long as you're taking that same data from the same place, then it's okay. Like I mentioned, when I did get sick, the data was from my finger the whole time. So even though it may not have been the exact temperature I was when I would say maybe take it under my tongue, it still knew that I was getting sick because it is accurate based on my finger. When we get into the cons, I would say there are really only two that affect me. And one of them is that the cycle tracking feature, you can toggle in your settings on the app, and the app is super great. It's very detailed and there's a lot to it, but when you toggle it on, you can't modify it later. It's a feature that they know and that they're going to update and work on, and hopefully at some point this just becomes obsolete. But if you're like me or many other women out there, you experience some spotting and maybe you think that that is the start of your cycle, when in fact actually it's not, and you want to go back and edit it, but it will stay as that's your start date. The other con for me is the charging of it. I think the charger is actually great. It's so small. I can carry this with me easily while racing. This is a very small thing that I can use with any of the USB-C cables I bring with me. So the charger itself is really cool. And if I want to use this while racing, what I do is either while I'm sleeping, I'll plug it into my wall unit. But when I actually want to charge it, if I'm not sleeping, sometimes I do races where I don't sleep that are over 2.5 days, which about the battery life on this. When you put the ring on, you have to make sure you get it on the right side. There's a little baby magnet in there, I think. And if you get it on the wrong side, it will fall out. If you get it on the right side, it does stay. But if you're like me and you're charging it from an external battery in your pocket, if it's on the wrong side or the right side, there's a chance that it'll probably fall off. What I do is I take a rubber band and I wrap it around the ring while it's on the charger and connect it to my external battery in my pocket or in my top tube bag, because my bike is bouncing a bunch and this would pop off. But this is such a minuscule thing. For so many people, this wouldn't really be such a big deal. The ring has been super instrumental for me in the last few months. It's helped me train better. It's helped me learn how to sleep better. I'm able to track my cycle, and that in turn helps me train better. And it also provides this data and information to my coach. Maybe I don't want him to know that I didn't sleep very much on Saturday night, but he knows now. So it's been good. I'm happy about this ring and how it's helped me get that 1% gain. It's a great tool if you want to increase your health, increase your training, just learn your body a little bit better. The Ultrahuman Air is a really great addition to your arsenal of technology. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you watching. Cheers.